here's 3 simple and often overlooked things that you can use in your drum and bass production that any DAW has access to that will help you liven up, especially if you're working with samples like in the example we've got here. We've dropped in this lovely ARP sample here. It's all well and good, but a very simple thing just with an EQ on the top end and we can make it do this. Very simple. All we've done here is apply a nice little wavy bit of EQ, just using the channel EQ and just controlling that little top end roll off with a little bit of a push up there, look. Simple as that. You probably use this all the time to like build up risers and things like that in your intros, but you can make use of it on just about any other instrumentation to bring a little bit more flair and interest to the sound, especially when we're working with a sample. So if we go from one to the other, one's obviously nice sounding, the other one's a bit more interesting. Juxtapose the two and we've got something that works. And you might think that's not going to work in an overall production, but actually when you drop something like this in a track, you can use it to bring that flair up and the thing that we heard before and bring it back, kind of retelling the story, right? Exact same tool. All right, next one's a little bit more complex. We've got a little cut sound just here. Ooh, interesting. Nice little bit of ear candy and flair, right? And you know, that'll work really nicely in context in the track. We'll bring it in there, a bit of atmospheric vibe. However, we actually do something else a little bit interesting with it in that we take a small part of that and get it to repeat over and over, like this. Not only does that create an interesting sound texture, but we get another rhythmic element to go in with our music, like so. Rhythmic tones adds another pulse into the music and it brings back something we heard before in the intro, an interesting effect. It's a really simple thing to actually do because it's probably misleading because there's just the one sound there. If we open up our automation, we can see we've got this 15% to 116%, rolling back down to 100 and then dips off at the end. That is because it is feeding into a tape delay. Nothing else on the channel, just the tape delay, and I left it completely default. I just pushed up the feedback. So we can see in real time exactly what happens right here. It pushes the feedback up, so it starts looping. And then we dial the feedback down as it starts to ramp up in level, and then just roll it off where we want it to be gone. Combine that with our first part. We've built up a relatively interesting texture there as the sound ebbs and flows. We lose the high end and bring it back up. We start a new rhythm, which goes in with the hi-hats. That's why I left the hi-hats in. Today's video is sponsored by DistroKid. They let me get my music out to all of the major distributors, and they do that at a price an independent artist can easily afford. If you're ready to get your music or beats out there and want to release an unlimited amount of music each year, check the link in the description below for a discount off of your first year of unlimited distribution with DistroKid. And the third one's to take your left and right at key moments. So really prevalent in headphones, but even on speakers, you get a kind of sense of movement. And I've done all of this to build up in the intro, and I've taken just a little snappy percussion loop here, and we're moving parts to the left and right. So all together, it builds up like this. Interesting is that? And again, you might think, oh, great technique for an intro, but proof of point, it works in the drop as well. And I've put all of these techniques in place in this loop right here. So check this out. There you have it, 3 really simple, easy to implement, but often overlooked techniques that you can use in your drum and bass production, whether it be in the intro, in the breakdown, or as proven right here in the drop to add interest and flair to the samples you're using. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope this video has been helpful for you. Take care.